Hey guys, it's Miss Brown again. Just a reminder of our purpose for this lesson. I'm going to help prepare you for your upcoming research project by teaching you about the Big 6 research process. You should have already watched the 2 YouTube videos posted on Blendspace about the Big 6, but I'm going to go over everything with you just to make sure you completely understand it before starting your project. So first I want to introduce the lesson handout. This is linked in your Blendspace, but I just want to take some time to look over it with you. I don't expect you to memorize all this information. It's an ongoing learning experience, so make sure that you use this as a cheat sheet as you work through your project. So you have each step here, and then at the very bottom, you have extra resources that you can use to help you. Now, I'm going to spend the next few slides going through each one of these steps with you a little bit more in depth. All right, so step 1 is task definition. So you want to ask questions like, what is the information problem? Or what is my research question? And then what information do I need in order to answer the question or solve the problem? It's really important to know these things before you start doing your research. All right, our second step is information seeking strategies. So think about what sources are available to you. Maybe think about what sources you're required to use. Do you have a rubric that states that? Are you allowed to use internet sources, or do you have to use books and encyclopedias? Think about what are the best sources to use to find the information you need. So are you going to find your information in a biography, or are you going to find it in some other nonfiction book, or on in a thesaurus or in an encyclopedia or some sort of online source? All right, and then our next step is location and access. So you need to find your sources. If you need any help, feel free to ask myself or ask your teacher for help. And you want to make sure that you find relevant information within those sources. All right, step 4, use of information. You want to make sure you engage in the information. So take notes over what you're researching. Think about, does the information answer all of my questions? If not, maybe you need to do more information or find better sources. And then you want to extract relevant information. So is this information reliable? What type of information am I finding? Step 5 is synthesis. So you want to organize your information, and hopefully you have information from more than one source. So you need to think about, how am I going to tie all of this information together? What's the best way to organize the information? Do I need to do an outline or a bibliography? A lot of times this is something that you will have on a rubric from your teacher. But if not, if this is something you're doing just to solve a problem in your everyday life, think about what the best way for you to organize that information is. And then you need to think about how you're going to present that information. So what's the best way to present it? Is it going to be a PowerPoint, a Google slide, an essay, a video? Again, this is something that your teacher probably has outlined in the rubric that of how you need to present it, but you might have options. And again, if it's something you're doing as a problem in your everyday life, not for school, think about what's the best way to present that information. If you're trying to solve a problem of you need a new cell phone and you're trying to convince your parents to buy you one, maybe you want to organize your information into a Google slide or a PowerPoint to present that information to them. All right, and then our last step of the Big 6 is evaluation. All right, so you want to judge the product and think about how effective it is. So think about, did I present the information in a way that will be easy to understand? Are other people going to be able to understand it? And am I happy with the overall presentation? If not, you might want to go back and make some changes. And then you want to go back and judge the process. Were you efficient in your research process? So how well did I answer all my questions or solve the problem? What did I learn from this project? And what things will I do the same? And what things will I do differently next time? Like I said, this is an ongoing learning experience. So I don't expect you to be research pros from the very beginning. It takes time. So put in the work and then evaluate it. What did I do? What worked? What should I do differently next time? All right, so hopefully you should now be familiar with the Big 6 research process and confident enough to use it while conducting your research. But don't worry, your teacher and I are here to help in any way that we can, so don't be afraid to ask. All right, so just a little refresher, we reviewed each step of the Big 6 research process today. The first step was task definition. The second is information seeking strategies. The third is location and access. The fourth is use of information. The fifth is synthesis. The sixth is evaluation. And don't forget to use that handout and ask for help if you need it. Have a great day, guys.